Okay, welcome to part two of the case study from HUD 14. In category two, we're talking about the proposed action plan or a plan of action with appropriate strategies for implementation. So the steps for resolution, number one has to be data collection. Anytime there's an issue or a problem, you have to figure out how credible a threat is in this particular case, where the threat came from, which persons are involved in the threat. Are there more than one person? Is it a credible threat? Or do they have the ability to carry it out? So the first step under data collection needs to be to print out the email, redirecting to the website and any information about that email, just in case once that email was sent and accessed, they had the ability to undo or unsend or retrieve that email in some fashion to remove it from the server. We know that we can do that now with the Gmail suite up to 30 seconds to a minute later. You can actually retrieve an email out of someone's inbox by unsending it. So you need to print that out to maintain it and to document it. Further, for the same reasons, you need to print out all material on the website, all of the posts that are made, all of the material, when this material was accessed and printed, and everything, so it can be in documented written form so that it doesn't have the ability to be removed before observed. And then forward the email and web link to the technology staff for tracking, again, if possible. If those things maintain, certainly send them on to the IT department, somebody that has a way to track the email, find out who sent it, or to track the originator of the website. The second step to resolve this is to interview all potentially involved people. So the one that was identified by Ms. Tate as a potential instigator of this issue, William Hall, call him out of class for an interview. At the same time, as much as within the ability of the administration, call out any peers of William Hall's, and then keep them in a separated area in another office or in another area awaiting their interviews so that they don't have the ability to communicate with each other and try to work out any stories or anything like that. The more concise and concurrent fashion that this can be done, the less likely it is to introduce any opportunity for them to redirect or get their stories together on the same page in lion fashion. Based off the interviews, call in any other students suggested by those, any other stakeholders that may be involved in this, any other potential knowledge carrying persons, somebody that may have knowledge about the website, the email, its generation, people that have had particular issues with Miss Tate, and call in any of those people and get as much information as available to compile a good overview of all the things going on. Third, consult with the technology department. Were they able to identify the origin of the email, the origin of the website? Were they able to identify the post on the website specifically? So not just the website or the email, but the people that actually posted comments. Do they know who it was? Do they know when those were done? And so on and so forth. And then evaluate any web history on school devices by students interviewed. So anybody that may have been pointed to as a person of interest or a person with knowledge during this discussion, certainly use all means at your legal disposal to ascertain, what's going on. Maybe this was done on a school device, maybe it wasn't. We know that the email was certainly sent over the weekend, but was this a technological device that the school had loaned to the student or the person that made the website? Perhaps it was a parent, we don't know. Or did this happen during school days and then the email was sent later after someone else found out about it? 4, conduct the code of conduct and school board policies. So once the guilty person or persons have been identified, then it's time to start thinking about corrective measures and punitive issues. So certainly the place to start with that is school board policy, whether it be a code of conduct or whatever documents it be. Look to that to identify how best and how most fairly to handle this. Don't react emotionally, but certainly do it in accordance with school policy. Contact the parents and inform them of the situation, the things that have transpired, and what disciplinary measures have been carried out. Keep them in the loop, ask for their input, give them all the information that they may need to also serve the students' needs. Category 3, so resolve issue based on promoting the success of all students. So here we will talk about how this resolution promotes the success of each and every student. So what is best for all students? Well, one, students were and or are frustrated with the current situation with Miss Tate. That's evident. This is not a unknown. This has certainly been displayed and been discussed, and even steps towards resolving this have been taken prior. But students are frustrated. So to promote the academic success and personal well-being of every student, their goal must align with that of the faculty and the staff. We must have common goals. If we're working against each other, then certainly no um, let's say overall enjoyed outcome will be present. We will be working against each other rather than working towards a common good. Evaluate and restructure the goals of the staff to make sure they're in alignment with the students. So we're there to serve the students. Are the staff's goals in alignment with the students' goals? And then how can we achieve that? Well, point 3 here is generate common goals together as much as that's possible. So work with the students to say, these are your goals. These are some of my goals for you. How can we work together to make these things happen? Are there some things that don't appear as important to one of us, and why is that? Essentially having an open goal setting discussion with the educators and the students to provide for their needs. The students clearly need an outlet. So this is proven to be the case as they've taken measures into their own hands to give an outlet for their thoughts, their feelings, and their frustrations. They took to online forums as an outlet for their stress, and it got downright negative, even potentially threatening. So teach students how to generate constructive criticism. And also teach them a little bit about empathy. Is the constructive or is the criticism that Miss Tate faced on that website, is that constructive for her, or is that purely inflammatory bullying style criticism meant to make whoever made it feel good at the expense of other people? Also take part in your responsibility for what's going on. If there's something that the students could be doing better to lessen their stress, let's evaluate that and see if we can't put that into action. Provide opportunities for students experiencing stress to manage it in a productive and positive fashion. So here again, giving them the tools to improve their time management, their personal responsibility, prioritization. Are there some things that they can give a little on and focus more on certain areas of their academics to help to lessen their stress and their workload? Provide clear communication with parents about ways to help their children express their concerns in a positive and constructive way. So work with the parents, collaborate together, keep an open door policy with the parents so that they can help to figure out what's going on with the students and help to instruct them in the home also on positive and constructive ways to express concerns and ways to go about things in a productive manner. And then 3, professional growth has to take place. This has to be of the administration and of Miss Tate. Miss Tate failed to implement the suggestions and strategies. Why is that? Why was she not able to do the things that Dr. Smith had suggested for? Was it a failure on her part? Were the suggestions too ambiguous and too generic? She just not quite have the experience yet to make sure that this is something that she can grab a hold of and improve for students, or does she not care? Which of those things is it? Provide continual professional development to give the teacher the tools to meet the needs of their students and adapt instructional strategies to do so. So it's not just suggest something once, but continue to provide ways, strategies, and logical sequencing for the faculty and staff so that they might have another opportunity in the future or continual opportunities to improve themselves for the sake of their student, because that is ultimately why we're here. Provide relationship building development for faculty. We don't need just content development, just classroom strategy development. We also need personhood development. And that comes a lot of times in the interpersonal abilities and skills. Just because somebody's highly qualified for a job doesn't mean they're the right fit for the job. Do they care about the students, and do the students understand that they care about them? And some of those things can be developed over time. Relationship building, strategies, how to show people that you care about them, so on and so forth. So here again, we will pause and then we will go through the final step in the last video. Thank you. See you shortly.